The infamous tale of Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow were two of the most infamous outlaws in American history, their story deeply embedded in the turbulent era of the Great Depression. Born in Texas, Bonnie in 1910 and Clyde in 1909, the pair grew up during a time of economic hardship and social unrest. Though they came from humble beginnings, their names would soon be known across the country for a string of daring crimes and a dramatic, violent end. The two met in 1930, and their bond was instant and intense. Bonnie was a bright, artistic young woman who enjoyed writing poetry and had dreams of fame. Clyde, on the other hand, was already involved in petty crime and had spent time in jail. Their relationship quickly evolved into a criminal partnership that would leave a trail of robberies, stolen cars, and bodies in its wake. Together, they formed the Barrow Gang, which included Clyde's older brother, Buck Barrow, and Buck's wife, Blanche, among others. They began robbing banks and small stores across the American South and Midwest. Though their take was often small, the daring nature of their heists and their ability to repeatedly slip away from the law kept them in the headlines. The media, fascinated by the young lovers on the run, sensationalized their exploits, sometimes painting them as rebellious folk heroes standing up against a broken system. Despite their romanticized image, Bonnie and Clyde were ruthless when cornered. The Barrow Gang was responsible for the deaths of at least 9 law enforcement officers and several civilians. Clyde was a skilled marksman and an expert at stealing and driving cars, an advantage that often allowed them to escape police traps. Bonnie, though frequently portrayed as Clyde's accomplice, was just as deeply involved in their life of crime. Her poems, like the famous The Story of Bonnie and Clyde, revealed a complex blend of defiance, regret, and doomed love. Their luck began to change in 1933. During a shootout with police in Joplin, Missouri, Buck was mortally wounded and Blanche was captured. Despite these losses, Bonnie and Clyde continued their crime spree. However, law enforcement had started to take their capture more seriously. Former Texas Ranger Frank Harmer was brought out of retirement to track them down. He spent months studying their movements and predicting their behavior. On the morning of May 23, 1934, Harmer and a posse of officers set up an ambush on a rural road near Gibbsland, Louisiana. As Bonnie and Clyde approached in their stolen Ford the 5.8, the officers opened fire. Clyde died instantly from a shot to the head. Bonnie's death followed moments later. The car was riddled with over 130 bullets, marking a violent end to the infamous duo's saga.